Luxe Life, Miss Farrah Abraham. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, hello Luxe Life. I'm loving the name of it.
Thank you. We've been waiting for you. We've been anxiously anticipating your arrival.
I'm happy to hear. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, and so we actually met at the Elton John charity.
I love that.
And then not too long after, like maybe a week or two after that, like my connect with your connect, and now we're here.
There we are.
So that's how it goes.
That's great. Girl power.
Yes. So you guys might, know Farrah from, where might they know you from?
Many different shows. Mostly I always say 16 and Pregnant Teen Mom on MTV because that's our last season right now, April 23rd. Catch the last time I'm on.
I can't believe
it's a little historical
it's been
moment.
10 years, right?
Yep, 10 years, an era of Farrah is what I call it. And it's been a joy. And also, working with WeTV, maybe Family Boot Camp, $1 Million Matchmaker. If you're in Australia, UK, some over there, we also have MTV Single AF that just aired this summer, Celebrity Big Brother. So many different networks you may know me from.
Beautiful. And so I want to talk a little bit about Teen Mom a little bit.
Of course.
And then, of course, we have to talk about what's going on now. You have so many projects going on now.
I'm excited.
You're quite the entrepreneur. I have to give it to you. You're quite the entrepreneur.
Thank
and
you.
I don't think everyone knows exactly how much stuff you have going on and what's coming in the future. So let's start with the beginning. And so you were on Teen Mom, of course.
Yes, and it was starting out to be 16 and Pregnant with teen girls showing their struggles in pregnancy, going into motherhood.
Right. At a fairly young age.
Yes.
While still in high school.
Yeah.
And so can we talk a little bit about, because that can't be easy.
No. I also think now when I see, like the Kardashians getting pregnant and having their kids, and I look back and I'm seeing all of these older mothers.
Yeah.
And I don't really think it matters what age you are. I honestly think pregnancy is something new, something like, oh my gosh, I've lived life. I thought I knew everything, but then pow, pregnancy's here and life is actually totally different.
Yeah.
So I've had girlfriends, state from being 40 with their first child to, 30s and late 20s. And they are like, Farrah, I relate to you. It doesn't even matter that you were 16. Like, I'm 20 or I'm 40 and I don't know this. So I think it is such a relatable show. And I think that's why it had the international success that it did. So it is super great to be a part of that. And many women will be mothers. And I'm happy to be on that bandwagon of motherhood. And you can still find joy and glamour and travel the world with your kids. So there's really nothing holding you back from being an amazing parent and living that amazing life that you want.
Very good point. I like that because it doesn't have to stop you. And
pregnancy is a beautiful thing.
You'll never be ready for it.
Well, that's what I say. I honestly say, I'm like, if I ever got pregnant again, would I really want to plan it? Because I actually, stepped up. I embraced the surprise of being a young mother. And I mean, I had a lot of surprises. It just wasn't pregnancy. I lost Sophia's father while I was 8 months pregnant. And you just have to go with whatever your life is giving you and make the best out of it. Otherwise, we couldn't be who we normally are.
Right.
So that's what I hope, in my memoir, it was a New York Times bestselling book. I wrote about that and so many women related to that. And I'm very just proud to just be another ear or another listener or a leader in just sharing our feelings that all of us are really going through. To have that that environment, that community is really great for all of us.
Very good points. Can I ask, or do you mind me asking, going through all that, I'm sure is not easy, but also unfortunately losing her father while you're 8.5 months pregnant, how emotionally and mentally do you move forward from that? I still do therapy. I did a lot of bereavement, a lot of loss, a lot of trauma, different therapies, because that's kind of really just what my body needed. Yeah.
And, some people and my friends that I work with now are, lost their boyfriends and they're going through a lot of bereavement issues. And I can just relate and I understand what that looks like and the hurt and the feelings and what are you living for now and all this stuff that I questioned and I asked myself back then. And I was like, some days I feel like giving up and not waking up and doing things. And if I want to stay on this earth and be a great parent to Sophia, now I'm a mom and a dad to her, what do I need to do so I can do the best I can? And that was always continually going to therapy. And one thing led to another, and years later, I used what I learned in therapy now in my acting coaching and these film roles and all these things that I'm going into now. And it really was just God's blessing. And it was a lot of things, there's still things I can't ask the universe, why did it happen to me?
Right.
Or why this? I mean, I was on birth control. I shouldn't have gotten pregnant. Wow. Why did it happen to me? Why did I have sex? And it was like a national news sensational, situation. And it's just like a blip of my life there. But some things just really, really affected me. And I don't think that everyone's the same. They're like, oh, yeah, that's just my normal life. That didn't affect me. But I understand you went through it. So it's been really crazy, a learning experience. I love my life, and I just have to live it to the best I can.
But I like how you said it is quite the blessing.
It is quite the blessing.
Because look what has happened since then.
I think if I didn't look at my life in the way I do, I don't know if anything good could have come out of any of the choices I did. But I think me just being positive, optimistic, hardworking, and never giving up, and staying close to my faith helped me get to where I am today. I can't just say, oh, I'm just so strong. That's really, I don't even need to be strong. I think it's just really my faith.
Right. Mm-hmm. I like how, because we always say on the show, every decision you've ever made has brought you exactly to where you are today.
Yes.
Whether you realize at that point or not, usually people don't.
Yes, usually I fight it. I'm like, why is this happening to me?
But it always pans out. It always works out for the best. Yeah. Even when you're in it, it doesn't seem amazing. It always comes out. But you have to keep pushing through. You have to keep going.
Fall forward, not backwards.
Yes. And just make the best of what you have. And that's that. That's all you can really do. Because you do have two decisions. And so you could have decided, okay, I got pregnant in high school. You could have decided, I'm not going to go to college. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. But you actually did go to college.
Oh, I did go. I graduated high school early. Mm-hmm. Kudos to me. I was really pushing for that before my little Sophia popped out. And then I started college. And I was like, let me see how much college I can get done. So I did an accelerated program and did some acting classes and everything. And that's just what I needed to fight through some of my sad times. It was just really good to feed my soul in between educating myself and focusing on business and, hustling, because that's what a parent I needed to do. So I'm actually pretty grateful that I fit all of that into such a quick time.
I'm sure acting too helped a lot. I'm sure acting classes or acting is kind of like its own therapy.
Yes, it is. Acting class, well, my acting coaches that we have one-on-ones with, I always say, like, you are like an acting therapist, like you're a therapist for actors, because we're going deep into emotions that only like my trauma therapy would bring up. And I'm like, well, now I get a 2-for-1. I get to do some fun stuff and I get my own therapy. It's really, I can't say, it's such a blessing. It's such a safe environment for me. And that's why I really, really love where I am now with the acting bit. And it's great. Not to say reality TV wasn't like, I was like the top reality star over and over and over again.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it is. But then I'm like, I want to grow. Like, I need to now, figure out directing, producing, do my own projects, figure things out. So that's why now I'm like figuring out screenwriting, taking some on-site jobs with producing and directing. It's really cool because I just need that. I need like the full all-around vibe, not just Farrah's a talent, Farrah's a talent. I'm like, guys, I'm just so much smarter than that.
Right.
So it's really nice.
Well, you do, like we were saying, you have several different businesses.
Yeah.
And before we got on today, you were saying that I love how involved you are. You're actually involved.
Oh, I'm really taking these calls right now.
You
like
don't
if my
just,
managers need
slap
help,
your name on it and like have someone else manage it. And I love how you said if something happened, you could actually go there and roll your sleeves up and do it all yourself.
Yes, I am one of those types. Like, I started it from ground up, organized it, created it, taught everyone what they know about my businesses so that they can be there. I do trust them. I do value their creative sense and allowing them to have their independence. but such to a point. Because I never want to stifle anyone's growth or creativity in their lives. I only want to improve and hopefully help them have their own businesses or grow to new levels in their futures like I do myself. But yes, I enjoy, if I start something, I am 100% there.
You're in it.
Yes.
And so can we let everyone, if they don't know already,
if you
let
don't
everyone know what you're doing exactly.
Yes. So it's been on our MTV Teen Mom show. Sophia, my daughter, has her Sophia Laurent Children's Boutique. Add her on Instagram. There's tons of fun things to shop for, from birthday parties to just surprises. It's great. And we sell from newborn to 12 years old there. It's such a blessing. I love seeing the families there. Also, we have our frozen yogurt store, Froco. We saw Koba the mascot on MTV and everything else. It's a happy place. Me hiring and firing has been nuts there, as so is the food industry. So yeah, frozen yogurt's my thing. And then we have interior design at Furnished by Farrah, which is my furniture retail store. And we do home staging, which has been such an honor and a blessing because I can't get enough of fabrics and furniture. And just, I always recreate my space. So it's a really good hobby of mine and now a business.
Those are three very different things.
Yeah, it's all lifestyle. It's our lives.
And like, I think just being an entrepreneur, most people listening and watching are entrepreneurs, business professionals, and just having one business or one project is a lot for a lot of people. Not only do you have those three businesses thriving and going on right now, plus add on to that, Mom, plus add on to that.
Layer my cake, girl. How high is that cake? Cake.
Lay it on. And acting and all that good stuff. It's just, it's crazy. And then you also go to events. You're all over the place.
Yeah, I go to events. I educate myself continually. Do speaking engagements. Get to have a life. Like, we're going to a wedding this weekend, and it's such a great honor. Sophia's a flower girl at my cousin's wedding. So there's always... I have a really great balance, and that's why I feel like I never get overwhelmed. I leave that space to create new businesses, new projects, be a part. And yeah, it's about delegation and getting it done.
And I want to ask you, actually, you did go to school, so obviously you have a business background, so that does help.
Yes.
A lot of entrepreneurs do not have the business background.
I always have to say, though, self-teaching yourself, trial and error. Yeah. It's not like, I opened up frozen yogurt shop just like that. I had a second location that we were just doing construction on, and the team was wrong, so it failed. So it's just, and also you could take this into social media, right? You can be on Instagram, the same things for Instagram for business to succeed is not going to be the same as Twitter. So when I'm doing media and all that stuff, Twitter's good for one thing, Instagram's good for another, Facebook's great on another side, YouTube. So I think just learning the business of each channel that you enjoy is just, you just get addicted, and then it's like daily and you love it.
Well, I definitely want to ask you this question. So, with any business, with anything, there's ups, there's successes, and I don't like the word failure. There's successes and there's learning experiences.
Well, yes, I have to always remind myself those failure. Well, maybe in my eyes, what I see is a failure. When I don't see enough return on something or whatever it may be, I'm like, why is this failing? Why is this not doing? Like, I analyze. I'm not just a researcher. I'm like either action. I'm very much about action. My managers know this. If I don't see action, if I don't see the right qualities and traits, then I'm like, something's got to change. And sometimes moving on doesn't mean you've lost or something failed. Moving on brings you to a greater ground where you can succeed and do